on, and I would now like to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Prasanna Ganpatrao Deshmukh. Very warm welcome, Dr. Prasanna Ganpatrao Deshmukh,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Dr. Prasanna Ganpatrao Deshmukh is the principal and head AT College and Research Center in Bhor. He is academic council member of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune, and YCMOU, Nashik. His academic qualifications achieved are MA in Education, MA in Economics, MMS, MComs, and PhD. With more than 35 years of humongous, sizable, proven experience of working as a renowned teacher, academician, leader, researcher, and administrator, keen in maintaining quality in higher education in all concerned areas. Presently working as the principal and head research center at NAC accredited A-grade college with Anatrao Topte College Bhor since last 25 years. Amazing experience. So proud to have you, Dr. Prasanna Ganpatrao Deshmukh, sir. Kindly share your keynote address.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be a part of this international virtual conference. And initially, let me say that the smiling face of Manoj and the nice management of Prakash Divakaran sir actually has created a good environment so that all participants are very happy. You are listening to all of us throughout the day since yesterday. So I must congratulate both of you for this nicely handled and managed international conference.
Thank you for the compliment.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be with you and also a part of this conference. I feel pride. Let me congratulate Dr. Prakash sir for organizing this conference successfully. This particular conference is an international virtual conference on sustainable and innovative practices in management, science, humanities, engineering, and basically, we all know that these all conferences we used to organize, or Dr. Prakash sir used to organize, for creating a platform for interaction on the latest development in the field, and also to interact on different issues related to innovative practices in these different disciplines: management, science, humanities, engineering, higher education. Mostly all areas were covered by Dr. Prakash sir. All the participants are very lucky to get information about innovative practices currently prevailing in these different areas. As was discussed in the morning with Dr. Prakash Divakaran sir, and as has been rightly said by Dr. A. Murugan sir, and also by others, yes, there is a need to focus on research methodology, on importance of research, how to conduct how to prepare the research paper and all that. So I will actually talk on these particular issues in my presentation, because as was told to me that give highlight or specifically highlight on these issues regarding importance, significance of research, and how to prepare the research paper and all that. So when we think of research, let me actually throw light on this. Different questions comes in the minds of the researcher, that what is research, why we have to do research, what is the use of research, what is the impact of research, what is the outcome of research, what approach should be there of the researcher towards research, how to do research, what is the process of doing research, how the research is actually useful, and what are the types of research, how to write research paper, what is the research process, so what are the steps involved in doing research, and ultimately research leads to what is the need and significance of research. And when we think of all these questions, and actually these questions actually comes in the minds of everybody, because changing scenario is always there, and this changing scenario forces us to do research continuously. As we all know, preparation of research paper is actually a technique, also it is a science, It is a systematic process and one must understand it. As I told you, basically there are, the important word is there, research. We all know that why we do it again and again. To research means to do it again and again, to find out why we do the research, to find out solution to a problem which we face in different areas. But when we do research presently, the question arises in our mind that what leads us to, what will lead us, the research will lead to what? The research will lead to different degrees. Let me actually explain you. Initially everybody knows it, that it may lead you for getting the MPhil degree, we call it as Master of Philosophy. It may lead you to get PhD degree, we call it as Doctor of Philosophy. Then there is a postdoctoral degree also. In UGC, there are different projects. One, minor research projects, major research projects. Then we all know there are different industries. Basically, they do have in-house research centers. They do have research and development department there. There is one department called human resource department in every industry. They do have research component in their organization. We all know that we need research, and academicians are basically interested in doing research because they want to get it published in Scopus journal, they want to publish in UGC listed journal, they want to publish it in reputed journals, they are interested in getting it published in conference proceedings because they know that the journal which is having a good impact factor will give them weightage. So these are all technical things which an academician requires. We all know that basically research is of two types: scientific research and social science research. We know that scientific research is conducted in laboratories. The scientific research, we all know, we can visualize it, we can actually take the, actually our eyes, we can take the change and we can feel the change. And a simple thing, if we put a color in water, the water gets changed. That is the change which we can visualize. And as far as the second research is concerned, it is social science research. And for that, we have to use different techniques of social science research. So friends, my point is that research is having different components. Now we will focus on the process of doing research, the technique of research, the steps in doing research. And actually, as we all know, that our current topic, as has been rightly told to us, that the sustainable development which is taking place, and we have to relate this to the different issues which are actually prevailing in different areas of management, then education, etc. Now, friends, when we say research, we know that we have to search it again and again to find out the problems and to find out the solution to the basic all problems. Now, why problems are there? Because problems are everywhere. We have to find it out and we have to find the solution for that. Let me focus your attention on different sentences which everybody used to notice. Now I would like to mention some sentences which are there in which we observe everywhere. For example, smoking leads to cancer. Smoking leads to cancer. Then don't drink and drive. Smoking is injurious to health. And Hindi mein we used to say, nazar hati, durgatna ghati. What these sentences mean? Now, smoking leads to cancer. What does it mean? That the research was carried out between these two things, smoking and cancer. The cancer actually is there because of the practice of smoking. And these two interrelation took place. And therefore, this sentence has been actually generalized and it has been conveyed to all. That after carrying out research, it was found that the smoking leads to cancer. So this is the statement which was proved, and therefore everywhere it is displayed. So the common man must understand that smoking, we should not smoke because it will lead to cancer. The same thing, don't drink and drive. Don't drink alcohol and drive. That if you drink it, it may leads to certain uneventual thing, accidents. accident may took place. So these has been actually research has been carried out. Smoking is injurious to health, because if your health you would like to keep it properly, then don't smoke. Now these are the tips which are given to us by the social media, by doing research, and government is promoting it. For example, meditation leads to reducing stress. So these two factors were interrelated, meditation and stress. If you do meditate, you will actually relieved from stress. So it has been proved by doing research that if you meditate, it will reduce your stress. So based on the research, these knowledge capsules were released in the society. My point is that why we actually focus on the research. Research is a part of life. Our daily life is improved because of research. We all know that if we drive slowly, we can reach safely. These words are actually motivates a common man because it has a base of research. Research is a systematic and scientific process which took place, and after taking that, these sentences has been displayed to all. We all know that knowledge is required. Everybody knows it, but if you convey this to all, they will take care of it, and that will help the common man to live their life very systematically. As we all know, right now we are actually organizing different conferences and seminars, because we know that even though offline has been replaced by online education, and this has happened due to technological change. Research was carried out that even though due to corona pandemic, it is not possible to organize such conferences on offline basis. Physically we cannot come together. Therefore the online process has been started, and now the government has decided to give emphasis on this particular aspect, that online education, online conferences be arranged so that we can actually conduct, and there will not be any hurdle in carrying out the process of gaining knowledge. Now, with this background, by understanding the importance of research, we will actually have, in my speech, I will focus on two issues: that what is the research procedure and how to write down the research paper in few words. Let me tell you, the first thing which is important is to locate the problem. The problem, I will give the list first, and then we will think of each and every point within few minutes. The firstly, we have to concentrate on the problem of research. That is very important. The problem, choosing of a problem is very important. Choosing a research topic is a starting point of research. Appropriate topic, how to justify the topic, your interest area is very important, and we have to choose a topic from interest area. Very individualistic this issue is there, because each and every person has to think that he has to be he should take interest in it, that he must have this particular issue in the mind, that I have to understand it systematically, and it should be selected properly. So selection of the topic is very important. Initially choosing a challenging topic you are interested in, you are sure that to discuss and to discover something that is very important. Now friends, the topic should be specific. It should not be a broad topic. Let me give an example. Suppose a global warming is a problem right now. Then what should be the topic what should be the problem of research? That impact of global warming on human health. That can be the topic for research. So your topic of research is associated with the problem of research, and your problem of research is associated with your interest, because each and every person is expert in certain area. So he should select the topic of his interest, and he should find out the problem in the area of interest, so that he will be able to concentrate on particular aspect of that particular, and he can throw light on it. Suppose the global warming was the topic selected, then he should do research on that particular area. Friends, after locating the problem of research, after finding out the topic of research, what is the next step? The next step is to find out the objectives. and to prepare the hypothesis. Now, friends, hypothesis is nothing but a statement which should be prepared initially so that it will help you to stay focused on your subject. For example, if we decide that global warming and its impact on human health should be the topic of research, our hypothesis should be global warming makes negative impact on human health. So these such type of hypothesis, it is nothing but a statement. Creating a good strong hypothesis or a thesis statement is required because it will help you in carrying out further research systematically, and your project can be completed systematically because of that. And it should be debatable that whether global warming makes impact on positive impact, negative impact, whatever it may be. Or on the other words, you can say climate change is the most pressing challenge facing the world today. So such type of hypothetical statement will lead to proper carrying out of research is very important. As we all know that research is a process. It is a scientific process. We have to go one by one. Firstly, we have to focus on the problem. Before problem, we have to find out the gap of research. The gap of research means the area wherein you think there is a problem and no research has been carried out. Then you can concentrate on the hypothesis, that is the research problem, and research statement, that is hypothesis, and then you lead to the objectives. It should be interlinked with each other. Objective, hypothesis should be interlinked. It is pre-decided. It is pre-decided by the researcher. The proposed solution of a problem actually there in the statement of that statement is called as hypothesis. As I told you that whether it makes the negative impact or positive impact, you have to think in advance. And based on that, you have to prepare the hypothesis. So hypothesis is prepared in advance. What is the next stage? We have to fix up the research methodology. And in research methodology, we have to concentrate on sample and on data collection. Friends, we all know that data collection is very important. There are different tools of data collection. There are different tools of data collection, and the data collection tools depends upon from which area you would like to collect the data. For example, if the sample is very high, then you have to use the questionnaire method. By using these different questions, you can prepare the questionnaire, you can send it to the respondents and collect the data. So that is the one method, one tool for collecting data. And what is the second method? It is the interview method. If the respondent are very small in number, or if you want to ask the questions to a selected sample people, then you can use the interview method. In interview also, there are two types of interviews you can take. The structured interview, that is, it has been decided in advance, or you can ask it. Unstructured interview, you can also take it. So these interviews will help you in collecting the data. Friends, we all know that data is of two types, primary and secondary. This primary data is basically collected by way of questionnaire, by way of interview, and thirdly, by way of survey. By way of survey also, we can conduct and we can take primary data for carrying out research in different areas. Now, friends, we all know that secondary data is also available. Murugan sir has just now told us, and we all know that there is a good sizable secondary data available on different modes. We can use it for carrying out systematic research. That is very important. So primary and secondary data are the different data and sources from which we can collect the data for carrying out the research. Now, I would like to highlight some of the things on sampling. Sampling is a very important part in research. We all know that if we can take sample by way of applying different methods of sampling, we can take some example also. If there are 100 students in our class and we want to find out that who is having some different suppose some students are having different categories, some students are having their health is very strong, who are strong in health, who are weak in health, we can have different types of approach towards it. And for that purpose, we can use different types of sampling techniques. One is simple random sampling. Simple random sampling means we can take the lucky draw and we can take the sample from 100 students. There is another sampling method is strategic random sampling method. That is, we can actually from 1 to 10, one student, from 11 to 20, another one student. Likewise, we can go by strategic random sampling method. And the third one is cluster sampling. So clusters are selected, and from that cluster, we can take the sample. My point is that different sampling methods are there for carrying out research systematically. So for carrying out research, we have to concentrate on sampling, and we have to concentrate on collecting data systematically. These data can be collected for carrying out research and for doing research systematically. As I told you, it is the method by which we can carrying out research systematically. Now we have identified the problem, we have decided the objective, we know how to frame the hypothesis, and now for data collection is concerned, we know that primary data, secondary data, and then sampling techniques are there. And after that, after collecting the data, we have to analyze the data. That is the important part in doing research. There are different types of analysis available. There are different types of mathematical methods, statistical techniques. There are different techniques are available to actually analyze the data, because analysis of data is very important. After carrying out analysis, we have to draw certain interpretation from that. Data should be analyzed in such a way that interpretation we can actually have in our mind, and that interpretation will help us in making conclusions and in drawing findings and conclusions. So data analysis and data interpretation is an integral part of doing research. Then it will lead to findings, and after finding we can draw certain conclusions, and then suggestions, and then bibliography, and we can use bibliography by giving certain references that yes, different parts of the books which we have used can be used by using different books, and we can mention it in bibliography. Friends, this is the research process, but how to write research paper is very important, because research paper, research project leading to MPhil, PhD, postdoctoral, or research project leading to minor research, major research are having different scope. The research paper, the scope of research project for major research project is very large, and as far as the research paper is concerned, we have to focus it specifically on a specific issue. For example, management of cooperative banks is a large topic. We can take management of urban cooperative banks, we can take district central cooperative bank, or we can take one aspect of it, impact of recovery on banks performance, or impact of NPA on banks performance, likewise. So the topic of research paper depends upon the area of interest and the volume of interest, and the volume we have to restrict it so that we can concentrate on different aspects of research while carrying out and while doing preparing research paper. Friends, as far as the research papers are concerned, we have to prepare a research paper. There is certain methodology to which we have to follow. Firstly, we have to fix up the title. Based on the title, after that, after carrying out research, we have to mention our abstract initially. Then introduction, literature review, methodology, process, diagrams we have to put it, then discussions, findings, and conclusion. This is the way in which research paper should be presented. And another thing is that at the end, we can mention references, keywords, and we can mention the details of the author. It means introduction, body, and conclusions are the three integral parts of carrying out research systematically. So with these things, what I think is that carrying out research systematically is important. It is a process through which we have to go, we have to carry out research, and it is actually useful in human life. As we all know, the corona pandemic is going on. Now the research has been carried out in corona pandemic also, that vaccine will help the man to sustain properly in comparison with those who have not taken the vaccine. The point is that research is needed at every point, at every stage of human being. That point I would like to mention, and would like to request Prakash Divakaran sir to carry out certain programs specifically on research methodology, so that we can take one aspect in detail suppose research methodology, then we can concentrate on specifically selection of topic, then sampling, so that research paper can be done or can be completed systematically. Without taking much of your time, I would like to thank the organizers for
Thank you very much, Dr. Prasanna or Ganpatrao Deshmukh sir, for again putting some light on the entire process from start to beginning for conducting the research. And definitely we look forward to a separate workshop for outlining step by step, focusing on one topic at a time and plowing our way through, so to speak.
giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.